So welcome dear students to Computer Studies Standard 10th chapter number 10 part 2 Introduction to C language. Now in the first part video I had just explained you or given you the brief introduction of what C program is. But in this video I am going to teach you in detail what is the structure of a C program. Now structure is common, right? Whatever C program you write, the structure will remain the same, so try to understand the structure properly. Thereafter in this video I am going to also teach you how to install C programming software in your computer, not in your mobile phone. Listen the sentence carefully. How can you install C program in your computer or laptop? And thereafter practically I am going to write a C program, execute the C program, compile the C program, these all things. So this video is going to be lengthy, okay, but watch the video from the starting to the end, otherwise you will not be able to solve the other problems of C language from the next chapter. So this video is very important. And one more thing, if you don't understand any of the topic, then please watch that much part of the video again and again to try to understand the thing. And one more thing is, after you install C language program in your computer and when you do practicals along with me whenever I am doing, and you also will do the practicals, and if you get any error, okay, then you try to read the error message and solve the problem. Do not write anything in the comment that I am not able to solve the problem, or do not disturb me if you are not able to solve the problem, because here even if you make a small spelling mistake such as instead of a small letter if you write capital letter, even if you forget to put a comma or a semicolon, then also program will give an error. So this is difficult thing. We begin the thing fine. So first topic is the structure of C program. Structure of the C program can be divided into three parts. The first part, as you can see here, is known as the optional section. Okay, it consists of four things: documentation, symbolic constant definition, file include section, and global variable declaration. Okay, this is the optional section. Suppose if you don't want to do documentation, don't do. If you don't want to add any symbolic constant, if it is not required in your program, don't add. File include section, that is optional. That doesn't mean that you don't need to include any file, but you have to include the file which are required for your program. That I will teach you in detail. Global variable declaration. If you need to declare any variable, you declare. Otherwise, no problem. Go ahead. Then comes the compulsory section for all executable C programs. It starts with main. Okay. Bracket open, bracket close, and thereafter the curly bracket, and inside the curly bracket you will have to do all the declaration of variables and executable statements. Everything you have to do after main, bracket open, bracket close, and in between the curly brackets, okay, starting and ending curly brackets. Then comes another optional section, user defined functions. If you want to create any function of your own choice, then you can create it after the main program gets over. That is here. Now one by one I am explaining you the thing. First is documentation. This is an optional section. This section is normally used to tell about the purpose of program, author, date of creation, etc. thing. Now here it's not necessary that you have to type everything, purpose of the program and author and date of creation every time. No, it's not compulsory. These type of things could be typed here. Okay, that is, purpose of the program means what the program is. For example, if you want to create a program to add two numbers, then you can write in documentation that this is a program created to add two numbers, like that way. Now one more thing, how to do the documentation, that is very important. Now in HTML, I taught you one topic and that was comment. Go to the flashback and try to remember if you can remember. I taught you comment section, that in the program, to increase the readability of the program, somewhere you can add comments. Now comments were such a thing which was not visible in the browser when the output was given of an HTML document. Okay, it was not seen there. That means it was hidden thing. Comments were hidden. Okay, same way here, whatever you type between forward slash, see here also when you write the program you will make mistake. Do not make a mistake. There are two types of slash on your keyboard. One is backward slash and one is forward slash. So you have to use this forward slash asterisk, and in between here you have to type whatever you want to type in the documentation. Then to end the documentation, again you have to put asterisk and forward slash. It is considered as comment in C language. Comments are not processed by the compiler. As I gave you an example, then it is not displayed on the browser even though you have written in the notepad coding. Right? Same way, here also comments are not processed by the compiler. What is the meaning of a compiler? In the last video I had explained, if you remember. Compiler means translator. See, whatever program we are going to type in C language. Now computer doesn't understand C language. Computer understands binary language, zeros and one. So compiler is a small program in C language which will convert whatever we type into binary language, and again when it gives the output, it will give the output in the language which we can understand. So that processing will be done by compiler. Now here compiler will not consider that this is the part of the program, so it will not do anything with the program. One more thing about comments is that comments can be added anywhere in the whole program, as it improves the readability and understanding of the program. Not only in documentation but in between also you can add the comments, that is for increasing the readability. For example, that you have used a function, then after some time you will forget that why you have used that function. So you can add a comment next to that function, that this function I had used for this purpose. Then we come to the next section, and that is symbolic constant definition. If you want to use a constant, say I am not talking about variable, I am talking about constant. If you want to use a constant whose value we don't want to be changed throughout the execution of the program, we may declare it as a symbolic constant. I give you an example. For example, if you want to find the circumference, right, you need to use 3.14, that is pi. In maths you have learned pi. So you can declare a constant named pi, okay, and assign a value to it, that is 3.14. Then whenever you type pi, it will understand that it is 3.14. Now to use such symbolic constant in our program, we need to use the syntax is how to use that thing, hash or hashtag define as a prefix to it. Here hash define is known as preprocessor derivative. Okay, directive. Now whatever I have marked in bold, that could form an MCQ, remember that thing. Now all the occurrence of symbolic constant will be replaced by the value assigned to it. For example, if I have assigned pi 3.14, then wherever I have typed pi, it will understand that, compiler will understand it is 3.14. Normally symbolic constants are defined using capital letters. By doing so, it differentiates them from normal variables. So these two sections are over. Now I come to file include section. This is very important. Without this, your program will not work at all. even though it's an optional section. Without this thing, your program may not work. So what is file include section? C provides inbuilt or library functions. Okay. Some of the examples of them are POW, that is to show or find out the power, that is raised to 2 raised to 5, 2 raised to 10, that is power function. SQRT, that is to find the square root. If we go to the flashback, then we can remember that in Microsoft Excel program we had seen that there are so many functions such as sum, average, mean, max, so many 50 functions I had taught you, if you remember. So here in C language also there are so many functions. But the thing is, to make the use of any function in our program, we need to include that respective header file in which the information of that specific function is stored. Now there are various header files in C language. Okay. Suppose mathematical functions are stored in maths.h. Standard input output functions are stored in stdio.h. So there are different header files in which the different functions are stored, and you need to include those necessary header file. The extension of an header file is .h. The syntax how to include a header file is hashtag include no spaces there in between, just observe. Hashtag include angular brackets file name .h. In appendix 4 of your textbook, page number 312 onwards, it gives the information of this type of different header files. So 3 sections are over. Now we come to global variable declaration section. The variable could be declared keeping in mind its scope. For example, you don't have your own vehicle. Okay. You want to travel somewhere in your own city. Then you can approach the rickshaw also. Right? It will help you to move to any place. But if you want to go out of station, from Bhavnagar, if you want to go to Ahmedabad, then you can't ask the rickshaw driver to go and drop you in Ahmedabad. For that you will have to contact the luxury bus. Right? So same way, that is the scope. The scope of the rickshaw driver is only within the city, while the scope of the luxury bus is to other cities also. Right? So same way, variable also has got these two types of scopes. Both I am explaining you. It depends where you declare the variable. According to that, it will decide the scope of the variable. If you declare the variable before main function, that is here, if you declare the variable here where it is given before main, okay, then that is a global variable. It means it could be used anywhere in the program. But another type is if you declare the variable in between the two curly brackets, that is after main, inside in between the two curly brackets, then it is termed as the local variable, local rickshaw walo, city ni andar tamne fervya kare. It means it could work only between the two curly brackets. Okay, in the whole program anywhere you cannot use it. Nobody will recognize it. Okay, it will be recognized only between the two curly brackets, that is local variable. So these 4 sections are completed, optional section. Now we come to the main part of the program, compulsory section. Main function. All the C program contains one main function with the name main bracket open bracket close. This is the function from where the execution of any C program starts. Okay. the control is first transferred to this function, and from here the rest of the operations are carried out. Now we come to the user defined functions. Okay, it's not properly explained in your textbook, so I will explain you properly this thing. User defined functions. This is an optional section that is also not given in your textbook. C provides a facility of breaking single program into a set of small pieces. This is what is given in the textbook. First I am reading that, then I will explain you actually what it is. These pieces are known as functions. In this section we can define all the additional functions used in our program. Fine, very good explanation they have given, hardly you can understand anything. Now I will explain you in my words. Just now we had seen two functions. Which were they? POW to find the power that is raised to. SQRT, square root function, to find the square root, right? Now as I told you, those two functions are lying in a header file named maths.h. Okay. So like that way there are various header files in which different functions are lying and which we can make the use of. Fine. Now in our program we want to create on our own a typical function which we don't have in any of the header file but which we need desperately in our program. Then we ourselves also can create a function, and that is known as user defined function. That is the correct meaning of user defined function. And that thing you can do after the curly bracket of the main part of the program gets over. Okay. So this was the explanation of structure of C language. Now we go to the next part, and that is how to install the C program and how to write the C program, etc., etc. So dear students, to use the C program you need to install the C program, right? So how will you install the C program? That guidance first I will give you. Now first have a look at the icon of this thing, Turbo C++. Okay, this is the icon of the program. Whenever you download the thing, I will teach you how to download. Whenever you download the thing, you will get this type of zip file, and when you double click on that zip file, it will show you this thing. Okay, here you have to click close, here you have to double click, okay, and then you have to install the thing from here, turbo C++.exe, that file you have to run. So like that way the application will get installed. Now at the time when you are installing the thing, one more thing can obstruct the thing way is that if net framework is missing, then it will ask. In my computer I had got the same problem. So when I was installing Turbo C++, at that time it told, it sent a message that so and so .NET framework is missing. Okay, if you want to install that, click here. So I clicked on that thing and the thing got installed. The exact message was, do you want to install this .NET framework version now? I told yes, so I clicked on yes. So then it started installing, and it took nearly 15 to 20 minutes. If it would have taken less time, then I could have done the screen recording and showed it to you. Now after you open this thing, browser, okay, I have opened this Google Chrome browser. Here you have to type this thing, download, listen carefully, download DOSBox, DOSBox, DOSBox Turbo C++ 4. I am using Windows 7, so I typed here Windows 7 64-bit. Now so you have to check which operating system you are using and how many bits your computer is. How to check? You have to give a right click on computer and go to properties. So as soon as you go in the properties, you will see here that your system type is, for example, my system type is 64-bit operating system, right? It could be 32-bit also. So I selected that option and I typed that keyword in the Google search. So here I got this many options, from which the first option, that is archive.codeplex.com. I think I had downloaded the package from there because it is showing both the things. So I will just check and tell you just now. Yeah, I had downloaded it I think from here. Yeah, from here, this site. So not from this site. Yeah. So what is the name of that site? Just remember, developerinsider.co. Okay, remember the name. Here it's given. You can pause the video and see that this option, this one. From here you get this option, and from here you have to click on download. As soon as you click on download, see, I clicked on download. So downloading process will begin, and here it will show the downloading process. Okay, and when the zip file gets downloaded, then you have to proceed further. See, it started downloading. 7 minutes left, 9 minutes left. It's a small package, 7 MB package. Just now I am clicking pause. Okay, or I can also click cancel. Fine. So like that we will have to download and then install the C program. Fine. Now I am opening the Turbo C++, which is installed here. I have created a shortcut also. I think I can open it from here also. I have not tried. Yeah, from here also I can open, but since I will need to use it till 16th chapter, so I have created a shortcut here on the desktop. So I double click here. So it will open this dialog box. I have to click on Start Turbo C++. So DOS box and C program will open like this way. It will be blue color screen. Now here what will be the first thing you have to do? First thing you have to do is you have to save the file. Remember, first thing is you will have to save the file. Second thing will be, after you finish your program, again you will have to save the changes. I will do it practically, but I am just telling you. Like in HTML, what we were doing, first we were creating the blank web page, we were saving it, and thereafter we were saving the changes. Same thing you have to do here. Fine. Now when I was teaching you flow chart, at that time I had told you that remember the things which I am teaching you here, it will be helpful to you in C language. Am I right? So I will solve the first problem which I am going to solve here is to find the circumference. Okay, do you remember, had I taught you a program to find the circumference? Yeah, I had taught you, I remember, even if you don't remember. Fine. So here I will type a document, means documentation or comment. I am typing a comment here. I taught you just now what is the meaning of documentation and comment. What will be the comment? A program to calculate the circumference of a circle. Okay, this is the documentation, means whenever anybody opens my program, he or she will come to know what the program is all about. Now, as I told you, it starts with forward slash and this asterisk sign. So when the comment ends, it ends with asterisk and forward slash. Now just now I gave you a lecture that you have to save the file, but I myself forgot to save the file, so I will teach you how to save the file. File menu, save or save as option, whatever. Now where would I like to save the file? I would like to save the file in local disk C. So I will type here C:. Remember, in which drive I am saving? C. So I type C:. This is all DOS base. Then I will press the enter key. Okay, I pressed the enter key. Fine. So now I am in C drive. Now here what name is it showing me? Star. See, star is the name of the file. .cpp is the extension. As in HTML, the extension was HTML of notepad file. Same way here the extension is .cpp. File name what I will give? Circumference. Circumference.cpp. Where am I saving the file? In local disk C. Okay. Fine. Now next thing what I have to do is I have to include the necessary header files. So I am including by using hash include, hash include, then angular brackets open and stdio.h. What is this stdio.h file? What is the use of this file? STD means full form is standard, I means input, O means output. Now in this program, have we to take any input? Yeah, we have to take the input. What input have we to take? Radius. What output have we to give? Circumference, right? So to do this standard input output operation, we need to include the header file named studio.h. Another file I need to include is conio.h. Full form of conio.h is consolidated input output. Fine. Two files I have included. Now I will need pi, right? 3.14. So here I declare a symbolic constant hash define space. Remember, mostly constants are declared in with the name in capital letters. So pi So we have defined a symbolic constant pi. What does it mean? That wherever, whenever we use pi, okay, the compiler will understand that pi means a numeric value 3.14. Fine. Now we start the main program. Okay, I type here void main, bracket open, bracket close. Now what is void main, that I will explain you later on. You have to exactly type whatever I am typing, void main. Then I am opening a curly bracket. Okay. Now this void main will tell the compiler that the first round bracket, okay, indicates that the main program is starting from this curly bracket. Remember, and the second bracket will tell the compiler that at the second curly bracket the main program is ending. That means compiler will come to know that whatever we have typed between these two curly brackets is the main part of the program. Fine. Now here, if you try to remember in the flow chart, had we taken any variables? Try to remember. To calculate the circumference, had we taken any variables? Yes, we had taken the variables. Which variables had we taken? One of the variable was radius and another variable was circumference, right? So here also we will have to declare the two variables. Now which type of value will it contain? It will contain a whole number or a number with fractional part. The answer could be in fractional part also, am I right? So we need to declare two variables of real data type. That type of data type is known as real data type. There are two types of data type. Whole number means integer data type and real data type is indicated by float. You have to type here the keyword float. Then the name of the variable, I am not typing the whole name circumference because I am not knowing the correct spelling also. Radius, and I am typing just C. Instead of circumference, I am taking the variable name C. You can take any variable name. Fine. So I have declared two variables. Now next thing I have to do is I have to ask the user to enter the value of radius. So on the screen, will I have to give an output that enter the value of radius? Yes. So how will I give the output? By using a function called printf. Remember the name of the function printf. And here everything is case sensitive. If I write here capital P, the program will show error. If I write capital F, it will show an error. So remember, whatever I am typing, exactly same you have to type, printf. Now I have to open the bracket. In the bracket I have to type the message. Enter the radius. I have to type the message in double quotes. Then I have to type here this thing. In between also I can save the file. I am clicking on file and save, or I can press F2. So the changes are saved. Enter the radius. Now one thing which you have to remember is, in between these two curly brackets, whatever statement you type, you have to end it with semicolon. Otherwise it will show an error. That is the syntax. Okay. Everywhere you have to end it with semicolon. But outside here you don't have to end any statement with semicolon. Remember that thing. Fine. So it will give a message on the screen that enter the radius. So the user will enter the value of radius, right? And we will have to scan that value. So we will have to use the function scanf. Scanf. Okay. Bracket open. Double quote. Which type of value are we going to scan? Float value. Floating point. That is a number with fractional part. So here I have to type %f in double quotes. Remember, %f, comma, the name of the variable where I want to store the radius. What is the name of the variable? Radius. So here after comma I have to type radius. Bracket close, semicolon. Okay. So the value will be entered and it will be stored in radius. Now I have to find the circumference. So C is equal to 2. Asterisk means into. Pi capital into radius semicolon. Okay. So like this way I will have to type the formula. Fine. So the calculation is over. Right? This we used to do in the process symbol, rectangular shape we used to type in the flow chart, this thing. Right? Fine. Now we want to give the output. So to give the output I have to use which function? Just now only I taught you. Printf function to give the output. So now I am typing here printf. Printf double quotes %f. Okay. %f is the circumference. Double quotes over, comma, the name of the variable, that is C. Okay. So like this way. And one more thing I forgot to put here is I have to put an and sign here. See, while scanning, whenever you are scanning any value, before the variable name you have to put and. And means at the address of. At the address of means where you want to store the value. You want to store the value at the address, at the cell address named radius. Right? So we had to write like that way. Fine. Now here I want to print the value. So %f is equal to circumference, comma, C and semicolon. Okay. Now I type here a function. Why I am typing this function, that I will explain later on, not just now. So the program is over. Okay. Now I need to compile the program. Compile means what? Compile means to translate the program into binary language so that the computer can understand what we have done. Remember. So I have to click on compile, or I can press Alter F9. See here it's given this shortcut key, Alter F9. So I press here, so it is showing success. Since I have not made any mistake, so it's showing success. Now I have to run the program. So Control plus F9. That was Alter plus F9. This is Control plus F9. So what did it show? So I am pressing Control plus F9. So the first printf which I had kept was to print on the screen that entered the radius. Am I right? Second statement I had kept was scanf. Scanf value, scan the value and store it in radius. So now I have to enter the value. I am entering 4040. So that value is scanned. And then the next statement is executed, that the circumference is counted, and thereafter the next statement is executed, that is percentage f is the circumference. So percentage f means the value of circumference was 251.1997, and this is the answer. Once again I am showing you. See, first statement, I had told you that if you type anything as a comment, it will have nothing to do with the program. Compiler will not do anything on this thing, right? So that thing is displayed in different color. Okay, if I remove this thing, then you will come to know, see, original color is this, but since we have added is at a comment by adding forward slash and asterisk, so it's showing in gray. So this statement I hope you understood. Second statement, I included a file named studio.h and I included a file named conio.h. These two files were included because I wanted to take output, enter the radius. Percentage f is the circumference. To output I wanted to take. So output means O. I had to take an input of the radius. So input. So standard input output file, header file, and consolidated input output header file. These two files I had included. Then I wanted to use pi 3.14. So I had defined a symbolic constant, capital Pi. I have not put any is equal to in between. Remember, capital Pi 3.14. Then I started the program with void main. First statement, then curly bracket. Then first statement was to clear the screen, CLR-SCR. It is a function which is lying in consolidated input output file. Then I declared two variables. Then I gave the statement enter the radius. So when I ran the program, it printed the first thing, that is enter the radius. Then I scanned the value which the user entered as radius, right? I had entered 40 if you remember, so it scanned it. Then it executed the third statement, that circumference, that is c is equal to 2 into pi into radius. Thereafter it gave the output printf. Percentage f is the circumference. So here it didn't print percentage f, but after comma I had written the name of the variable c. So it printed the value lying in c. So like this way this program works. If you have not understood, you can watch this video again, and whenever you do practicals also, that time practicals you cannot do in your mobile, you have to do it in your PC. So that time also you keep the video on and do the thing. Another thing I would like to clarify here is that in your textbook, instead of this C language program, this is worldwide famous program which I am using, Turbo C. It is worldwide used program. Instead of that, your textbook have used another program named SCITE, Skite. I tried to install Skite in Windows 7, Windows 10, both the things, and I was not successful. I installed it, but the program output was not coming. It was showing so many missing files. Then my fellow computer teacher, who is a genius in computer, he also tried to do the same thing. He was also not successful. CPP compiler and so many things were missing. So if I ask you also to install the same program in your computer, you also will be a failure. That program works, Skite program works well in Ubuntu, but we all are using Windows. So in Windows, this is the perfect program which will work well. Another thing, whenever you go for engineering or any other field, okay, wherever computer is there, in that college
this program will be taught to you, not the Kite which is given in your textbook. That software is only used in your textbook, nowhere else in any of the colleges all over India or all over world. Kite program is used, and that is why I am teaching you in this program, since it's easy for you to install in your computer and it is used worldwide. So my dear friends, before completing the program, once again I will run the program. I will enter different value of the radius and show you. Enter the radius. Now I am entering 10. Just see. Circumference is showing -000. Once again I am entering 22. So 138.16. This is the circumference. There it was showing some mistake, that I will resolve later on. I don't want to waste your time. So here we complete this video. All the best, my dear students. Try to do this thing. Here a small spelling mistake, even of capital, or even if you miss a semicolon, this thing will not work. So work with full concentration. Also don't forget to hit the like button of this video. Goodbye. Tata.